Oh, howdy, hi, and welcome to another episode of The Cup, the Currently Unnamed Podcast, where the tea is piping hot and we are always ready to spill. I'm Logan Murphy, just a gay, here with more G Fuel because obviously I drink a lot of it. This is actually from an earlier podcast, so I'm wearing the same thing as another video that's already come out, so... Sorry, that part.
Reduce, reuse, recycle.
Truly that.
It's a mood, honestly.
Yes.
I am Brandon. This cup is empty because I had coffee earlier and I still didn't wash it. But again, water, hydration, important.
And I am Audrey. I don't have anything in like a cup in my hand, but somehow I'm holding I was like, how am I holding this while we're starting? But I am part of the vocal minority. I feel like not a lot of people like Ratatouille, but I love it. So honestly,
I love it.
The energy is always there. Thank you. I was saying that the other day, and someone was like, "No, Ratatouille is like not a good one." But I
It's
like
so
if anything,
precious.
I love that movie.
Yeah.
We're already starting with the tangents.
I feel like that's just gonna happen because all we have to talk about is 6 lip syncs.
Yes.
Ooh,
yes.
honey. Okay.
It is.
I guess I was gonna say we're also vocal minority of. You enjoyed this episode, right, Logan? And I did.
I really liked this episode.
I enjoyed this episode. It's just a lot of thoughts. What I've been seeing.
Yeah.
Again, when I I go to the watch parties every week, so like we already have initial thoughts immediately. So because commercial breaks, so we'll see what happens.
Of course.
The interesting thing is because I've seen a lot of the Drag Race reviews on YouTube. I follow a lot of them. A lot of people have said that there's a bit of riggery in this episode, and I honestly don't agree for once.
Oh, wow. I'm surprised.
For once, I'm like, I don't. There's a couple moments. We'll talk about it. But there's I didn't feel a whole lot of riggery happening.
There might be one, but we'll talk about it. So
yeah.
Yeah, there's a few that I think There's maybe 2 spots, but also one of them's like, I could have seen it go either way, but we'll get into it.
And I thought overall, talking about the lip syncs, I thought overall it was a good lineup of lip syncs. And I think that has to do with the fact that it was a great lineup of songs.
Yeah.
I mean, I was going to be happy with anything that wasn't RuPaul songs. So like anything other than that is immediately going to be at least 2 steps up. It wasn't like they like broke the bank for this, but they were really good.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say they broke. Yeah. I wouldn't say they broke the bank. Like it was a good mix of what I guess what's known for lip syncs. Yeah. So we'll talk more about it, but I was satisfied. Again, we'll get into it deeper. Yeah. So.
And the fact that we now have 2 Beyonce songs on 1 season of Drag Race. Hello?
Yeah, and Radio with that. Radio is like one of my favorite Beyonce songs. It's just like, it just takes you there every time. So I was like, yes, we love this.
I do want to start because we always, or not always, if I remember to start with this, we start with it. I'd like to talk about our Gone But Not Forgotten Queen Cornbread because
the tweet
she announced this week that she will not be on season 15, nor will she be on All Stars 7, from what we've learned. Now, we also know that she just signed and was announced to be in the remake of Hocus Pocus with Ginger Minj and the best actress of all time, Kimora Hall. Which is a great combination of people, if you ask me.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
It's gonna be the single most chaotic thing that's ever happened. And we might dip into movie reviews to talk about that one.
Yeah.
I feel like we have to.
Yeah, when I saw that
iconic.
announcement, I was excited because, like, it's an interesting mix, but I think for all the right reasons, I think.
Yeah.
Because from what I've heard, obviously, for if we want to dip into that a little bit.
Yeah.
They're doing a drag number of them impersonating the Sanderson sisters.
Yeah.
So I'm all for it. I'm ready.
I'm ready for it, but I this is all hearsay. None of this is confirmed, but I think that may have something to do with her not being on, because what I've learned from doing a little bit of research on this is that in the more recent seasons, season 14 including, the girls have to sign contracts with Voss Events post-season. And so from what we've heard, Cornbread is the only queen to not sign that contract. And I think that may have something to do, because she also did tweet, "This wasn't my decision."
Yeah.
Yes.
So if she took this other opportunity, I've also heard this. We do know she is in the process of transitioning as well. And we know RuPaul's stance on trans people. It seems like he's getting better. But I've also heard that she is wanting to focus on her transition as well.
Which is
it's absolutely valid, but I'm interested if that has something to do with it as well. And again, it's a slippery slope, because like Brandon and I are 2 degrees of separation away from Cornbread. So I don't want to say too much, because I don't want to like say things that are wrong and then like potential repercussions. Yes. But with that said, obviously we're supporting Cornbread in every single thing she does from here on out.
Yes.
And we were before.
And Cornbread,
and we're going to continue to.
Cornbread, she's someone who she only needed 3 episodes on RuPaul's Drag Race to, skyrocket into like such an amazing road post Drag Race. And so I think that speaks volumes, obviously, to her talent and what she's capable of. So I'm really excited to see and follow her post her RuPaul's Drag Race career.
Absolutely.
Cornbread has already had like the career that she's had, because like she works with Brandon Rogers and amazing YouTuber, and like that's how I knew Cornbread before I knew who Cornbread's roommate was. So
Same.
I was like, oh, interesting. All right. And then of course, like immediately from the get-go, I was rooting for Cornbread immediately. And
totally.
Oh yeah, and on the note on the Voss events, I did notice this actually. I was going through every single queen's websites because I want to see if there were any events going on, if there's were any ones, and I did notice that Cornbread was the only queen that had not signed with Voss. So I'm glad that you brought that up, because I was wondering why that was. So
I don't know if those things correlate. But it's a fact that she, from what we know, has not signed with Voss. So regardless, we love Cornbread, point blank and the period. Yes. Moving along. So not much happens in the workroom after last episode and before the lip sync Lalaparuza Smackdown. We see a lot of people talking about their like preferred lip sync style. Willow likes to have something kitschy and like typically performs mixes, which doesn't surprise me in the slightest. Angie is a good old park and bark sort of queen, which I also love. And then Deja's just getting in everybody's heads, and I loved every moment of it.
Deja was so iconic this episode, because this is probably the calmest she's probably been able to feel during the entire competition, of like, no matter what, like, I am good this episode.
The one
like, I don't have
time,
to worry.
yeah.
What did you guys think of the whole Jasmine? Obviously, it's like the tale as old as time with season 14 Jasmine versus Daya, because I really have grown a fondness towards Jasmine Kennedy. It took me a second for sure, but like I feel like her energy and just like you can tell that she has enjoyed her time on RuPaul's Drag Race and just is kind of excited to be there, which I find very endearing. And so the whole time when Daya was like, no offense, but then Jasmine's like, well, I mean, I'm just here, you know, you got to take it as it is. And so I was like, I think that Jasmine's energy about it is good, because I know I would be frustrated if someone was like, because it's like the writing is obviously on the wall kind of the placements moving forward. And so I think Jasmine has a good attitude of like, I mean, I'm just happy to be here another week, you know, you got to take it for what it is. Whereas Daya is still kind of in the idea of like fighting for the crown. You know what I'm saying? I think Jasmine at this point, from what, I mean, obviously this is just like guesstimating. I feel like from this point, Jasmine understands that this isn't her year at this point in the competition. So she's just in the enjoyment phase, whereas Daya is still very much in the I need to fight to get to the final four phase of it, which I think is where their mixed communications are coming in to play here.
I just don't care. I'm going to be really honest. I just don't care anymore because, like, it's just so tiring. It's so burnt out. It's so beating the dead horse. I did appreciate Jasmine being like, well, you can say whatever's on your mind. That's fine. But the point I'm trying to make here is you're being very pointed towards specifically me and Georges.
Yeah.
And you made a really good point, Audrey. Like Daya is very much in the mindset of like, I'm still trying to get to the top four here. And so her being like, yeah, I'm not making it further because you're still here. I would like to remind everyone that episode 2 of this season, Daya Betty was eliminated.
Oh, that's true. I forgot.
She should be, in my opinion, she should be happy with every single episode that she's competing in.
Yeah, that's so true.
And it doesn't feel like she has that. And that's valid and understandable. But just for me, if I was eliminated and brought back, I'd be happy for every single opportunity that I have to show my talent on this show, because it's going to be a very large hurdle if she makes it to the top 4 to get the crown.
Totally. I forgot that she was one of the first eliminated. I was thinking about this week. I was like, the first like 5 people who were eliminated, they really got the shit end of the stick. I was like, wow, Orion Story was on this season. Wow, Maddie Morphosis was on this season. Wow.
Remember Maddie Morphosis?
Like, I was so thrown because I was like, oh my gosh. Like, you
remember
just like
Carrie Colby?
Oh my, like even Carrie, who
June Jambalaya.
Oh, poor June.
June. Oh,
Did we miss anyone?
So good.
Alyssa Hunter.
Yeah.
We love Alyssa Hunter.
Again, this is how long the season been going for. Like, it's now been 2.5 months. Right. But hey, like,
how crazy.
We're about to get to episode 13 for next week.
And we have 7. No, next week is 12.
Oh, next week is 12. Okay.
And we have
It's crazy to think too. Season 8, there was only 8 episodes.
Period. Literally, by last episode, Bob was crowned.
Yeah.
Like, that's how it was.
Insane.
Honestly, and I've been thinking about this, and I'm kind of curious what y'all think about it. I honestly would love just a season where, like, so I assume season 15 is going to have probably between 13 to 15 girls and 16 episodes again, with 14 of them being competitive in the filming block. I would honestly be okay if we got like the first 3 or 4 episodes where no one goes home. So that way, like, and that's established from the start of the season. Like, okay, you do a split premiere, episode 1 and 2, nobody goes home. Episode 3, nobody goes home. Because at the very least, then the people who do go home early get a little bit more of an opportunity to show what they're made of. And I do also understand the flip side of that, then why even have a competition and why even eliminate people? And like, I do understand that. But for me, I just feel like if you're gonna keep doing this like non-elimination, and we still have the fucking chocolate bar, y'all. We still probably have a non-elimination episode to talk about in the next 3 episodes. And so it's just like, I would honestly love, like, give them 3 or 4 episodes, give them an opportunity to show, like, this is who I am as a queen, because it does really feel unfair to people like June Jambalaya, Alyssa Hunter, Orion Story, even really Cornbread. I mean, Cornbread's a different situation, but still, like, it just feels a little unfair to have to have this many episodes with 8 queens in it. And then the other girls that go out early kind of just get paid dust.
I think it would be okay to not have like the first 3 as like the standard, like we aren't getting rid of anyone, but I feel like they still have to have stakes in some way. You know what I'm saying? Like if like, you know, you win the first episode, but then you get an advantage later on. Like I think I would just need stakes.
Are we trying to Big Brother Drag Race? Because
imagine, honestly.
Like, no, I actually really like that, because like, say it, like, if you win your premiere, if you win like episode 3, you get like a I was about to say save a bottom, and that sounds kind of dumb, but like you get like a golden even, chocolate bar. I don't fucking know, to save
or
yourself.
Even like Dracula season
bottom 2 at one point.
Even Dracula 3. Season 4. No, season 4. My Wi-Fi went out. That's why.
Are you talking about J. Jolie?
Yeah, to have like you get to pick who's in the bottom 2 1 week. I think like something like that would be good.
Sure.
Because I think if it was just like a family get together for the first 3 weeks, I think that's like people aren't going to start tuning in. Or an immediate like
safety. Like if you like basically like the key from Dracula. Like if you know, I wouldn't put someone in the bottom necessarily, because that feels kind of shady and weird. But like
an idol, get an idol.
Yeah, you have the opportunity. If you think you're going to be in the bottom for this challenge, you can save yourself.
Yeah, that's the thing. But remember, they got rid of immunity after season 5 for said reason.
Well, and that's why they're never going to do this format that I'm talking about. But like, I think it would be a lot better, because then like it brings a bit more of like the reality competition aspect to what has unfortunately just become a reality show that features a drag competition on it. Like, I don't know. There's so many things I would change if I was a producer in Drag Race, but alas, I'm not.
Honestly.
Well, I like kind of what they do on Canada, how like each judge will write down. Was this maybe just season 1 that they would like write down who they would want to go?
It was both, but also then, we never saw it. So like,
right,
for
but
all
even just
we
like
know,
even just for the show of it, like I even like that instead of just like, RuPaul goes talks with the producers and then comes back and says who's going to go home.
Well, Espana does that too. Yeah.
Or even like, I think a fun way that they could embrace the early eliminated queens is have them decide. Like they stay in like a jury type house, and each week they're able to see like the judges panel or whatever, and then they get to vote on like, okay, I think this person. I think that would be wild. I think that would be a really fun season.
If there was like a fifth person and it was like I kind of that we're big brothering Drag Race, but like honestly I think like I don't hate it really.
I think it would be fun. I think it could only be like a 1 season thing, and then people will be like, oh my god, like why are you guys trying to do like another show? But
I think that would be really cute for like, because we know something is coming on the horizon. Did we talk about it? The next US season that's happening? Brandon, do you know?
I've been aware of it.
Okay, I just didn't want to say it because I know
they released the date. No, they released the date.
They didn't officially release it. Best of RuPaul's Drag Race released it.
Oh,
they haven't done.
I was like,
they
it's
haven't
already
done
out there.
The promo yet. We all know.
I see, because isn't it like May 20th?
It's the start. Yeah, it's literally the start of Gemini season, which is chaotic as hell. But like, it's literally chaotic as hell. But no, like if they did some sort of like another idea. This is not confirmed. This is not a spoiler, Brandon Wu. But something that I've heard the fandom talk about is like a Drag Race Superstars. Well, no, that's what All Winners is called.
Is that like
a Drag Race?
Yeah,
that is. That is. So Drag Race Legends is what I'm talking about, where it's like not an All-Stars necessarily, but it's basically an All-Stars. But like, it's like if you were to bring like Nina Flowers, Latrice Royale, Monet Exchange, Manila.
They need a second chance. We need a second chance is where the audience votes for who we want to come back, and then that's how they form a season.
I've wanted a second chance this season for the longest time.
It'd be so
good. Comment at this time.
No. Okay, no. Again, I know it's not a spoiler because like I saw the tweet before we even talked about this, and it was brought up at the watch party that I was at this past weekend. So,
about that?
Yes.
Okay. Well,
there we go.
No comment at this time. Anyway.
So yeah.
Lip syncs?
Yes, lip syncs.
Here we go.
For once, though, before we dive in, I actually want to talk about RuPaul's look. RuPaul looked great.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, come on.
It was that purple outfit, right?
No, it was the red, black, and white, like, faux fur situation.
Yes. Purple was last week.
Purple was last week.
Yeah,
yes.
kind of giving, like, Cruella DeVille moment.
Was that not the promo look that she used for UK versus the World? That look has been photographed and I don't know where.
Reduce, reuse, and recycle. Theme of the episode.
Like 100%, that look has been photographed and used as a promo. I just don't know where. Like with that exact hair and everything, because I recognized the hair mostly. I was like, that's different, and I've seen it before. Anyway. I didn't pull any of the looks because everybody was in a bodysuit and they were all in very similar bodysuits. But like,
which was smart.
Oh, obviously. Deja Skye.
Living her best life this episode.
Wearing the look that was probably the worst in her closet.
Probably.
I didn't love it, but we move.
I will just say though about that because, like, again, she's just like sitting back for that episode.
I love it.
So I think that's the reason why she wore that.
Oh yeah, I hope she didn't corset tuck. I hope she was like, I'm chilling, I'm good. I just have to go drink and sit on a couch backstage. Absolutely. I would have like I feel like it would have been so funny if she had just shown up like in a bodysuit.
In a bodysuit or just a robe.
Or honestly just a robe. Like I think that would have been so great. And I can talk about this now because it was a fake spoiler. Because it clearly didn't happen in this episode. I had heard that allegedly, the rumor said that Deja was offered the opportunity to lip sync for her pleasure.
Oh, so like a Silky.
Pretty much. And she was allegedly going to lip sync to Levitating by Dula P. And I would have loved to see it, honestly.
Honestly.
If Levitating pops up as a song later in the season, no, I did not know that it was going to be a lip sync song later in the season. I didn't know. If it pops up and if Deja is involved, I hope not. But if it pops up and if Deja's involved, I didn't know about it. Thank you. Anyway. Whose look did I love? I thought Angie looked good.
I loved Willow's look.
Willow looked
really cool.
I thought everyone looked good except Jasmine. And the only problem I had with Jasmine was the hair was flat. I just wanted a little bit of teasing under that wig, and I would have been okay. Or hell, just throw a bump it underneath. Like, I don't care.
PVT to bump it.
Honestly, again, I saw a commercial for them the other day, like from like
so
the early 2000s.
But again, everyone's outfit was so similar, so I was just like, I didn't really have an opinion on any of it.
Right.
Because again, it was smart for them to do a bodysuit because again,
yes,
lip syncing.
obviously.
So
I do want to clock. Georges was definitely wearing her cookie cutter earrings.
Yeah.
From the challenge season.
Uh-huh.
I was like, choices. Anyway, so we find out the actual format of how this is going to go down. So there's going to be 6 rounds. They lip sync in each round, and you want to win your lip sync in order to be safe. So
I feel like my prediction was pretty similar.
Oh yeah, I knew what the format was last week, and I obviously didn't say anything, but I was like, Audrey's got it pretty much down.
pretty close. I was like, that's how we do it here. We
it
know
makes the most logical sense.
The energy, yes, yeah. I really liked it too. I liked how they were able to pick, and then the person that they picked had to pick the song.
Honestly,
it was good.
This is the closest to actual like drag in real life that I think the show has ever gotten to. And honest to God, I wouldn't be mad if they implemented this just as a maxi challenge every season.
Yeah,
like if they can get enough songs, just be like, or just reuse songs that didn't have great lip syncs. Honestly, like get redemption for No Scrubs, redemption for Really Don't Care by Demi Lovato. Like honestly. But, like, I would love at top 8 for them to just be like, so top 9 is Snatch Game or 7. Because I feel like 8 is a weird number, but I also feel like 9 and 7 would be weird anyway.
Well, 8, I would say 8's their threshold. Like, whenever they do Snatch Game is like, should be around 10. So then when they do like the lip syncs, like that's, it could be like, ooh.
I'm just trying to think of what like the polar opposite challenge would be to this, and it would probably be Snatch Game.
Probably.
Well, even just like later in the season's good because you could tell that there were certainly some girls who like were scared shitless because they were like otherwise they were in really good standing with the season, but then this episode really brought them to be like, oh my God, like I could be going home today.
We'll talk about it.
Shakes them awake, you know?
I think 8 works the best because then obviously it's 4 lip syncs of 2, and then it's literally just a bracket. And while I didn't dislike the way that the 3-way lip sync ended up for this, it could have been 3 fairly lackluster performers. And so the way that it ended up, I think, worked out very, very well. But I think top 8, hell, lip sync Lalaparuza, because at the end of the day, drag, the way we look at modern drag in the US is lip syncing. There's a lot of different interpretations of drag, and like I know, for example, Bianca Del Rio has talked about it, where you don't have to be a great lip syncer to be a great drag artist. Obviously, she won, never having to lip sync. And I also don't love that as well. Like I would like to see the person that wins the season at least lip sync once, beyond the finale, final 4, like or
even follow me here. So on do kind of like an America's Next Top Model episode, an episode 0, where they bring the 20 finalists to the stage, and each person has to lip sync like one-on-one against. Well, I guess it's that one-on-one. Yeah, no, two people have to lip sync against each other, and then each round RuPaul's like, okay, yeah, you're going to be on season 14. Okay, yeah, you're going to be on season 14. It's like a death match until we create the. Okay, come on, like why are not? That sounds really fun, right? Like that sounds really good.
I don't hate that. The only issue I have is in the world of COVID. I don't think that would ever be logistically possible.
That part.
But as girls, we already have 14. What's 6 more?
Well, then you're like immediately sending people out. Is kind of like the way that I'm looking at it. Because
they send them out already though when they eliminate.
Well, with production, there's only with the way that producing works, at least in California, there's a limit to the number of people you can have on any set on any given day. And like I think the maximum is like 30. And so if you already have 20 queens, you also have to factor in the judges, production, PAs, the set producer, the cameraman. Like you have to factor all of that in as well. So like if that is, and I don't know if that's an exact number, don't quote me on that, but I know there's like a limit to how many people you can have on a set at any given time because of COVID. So like in theory, I absolutely love that.
It'd be so fun because then you see people like really hungry for it. You know, they're very, at that point, very vulnerable. You get like real death matches. It'd be so cool. But
I guess that's what they tried to do on season 13, and it just really didn't go well.
Season 13?
Remember,
when did they do that?
The first episode, sis. Remember the pork chop lounge?
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
I had opinions about that, but we're not going to talk about it.
Here, I'll modify your America's Next Top Modelization of Drag Race. Here's what I'm going to say. We do an episode 0, 20-ish queens. Limited production, obviously, because of COVID. You have to do a lip sync challenge, you have to do a design challenge, and you have to do a comedy challenge. And those are like the tenet, or like acting or something. You do like solo individual things in all 3. You get scored on that. And whoever has the highest overall scores is on the season. So that way you're not just looking at lip sync, you look at
like
other
the SATs. The
kind
SATs
of,
for
yeah,
drag
the
race.
SATs drag. Yeah, sure.
Not the SATs, no.
We digress. Guess what? Tangents. Shocker.
Yeah, exactly.
There's gonna be timestamps in the description for what
but Logan, the way you brought that up about like production, like people limits, like no, that's a thing because so real quick before we like actually talk about the lip syncs, they have to sign stuff before like who's allowed to be on set or not.
Yeah.
So like that's what they have to do before they can like start with production or anything, because like they need all that paperwork, and then if they find out there's like a surprise person, they're just like, oh shit, we don't have like the money for that. So
yeah.
Totally. All right, let's get
logistics
started because I'm ready.
Logistics.
Yep.
I love logistics, don't you? All right, so we start. We have Calix, good old pit crew Calix, who I'd never seen before.
I think he's new this year.
And like, I love Bryce as well. Cue Brandon's shirt. Where is Jason? The world would like to know, because he is my favorite pit crew member. He's the one that takes it. He's the one that doesn't take it too seriously, and I always love him for it. And if they fired him, I swear to God, World of Wonder. Anyway, so Calix is in just briefs, and I've heard that set is notoriously cold, so I'm sorry. He is standing just in briefs, no shoes again. Also, like, can we get him at least like some sandals, some Birks, like,
or just socks?
Or socks work fine with me. But he's spinning the balls in the hopper. I felt like we were at a drag bingo. I was like, this is drag bingo. And he pulls out a ball, and it is Jasmine Kennedy. And then we find out Jasmine gets to pick her lip sync opponent. And the biggest gag of all 14 seasons of RuPaul's Drag Race happens. And she picks Daya.
I expected it.
I loved it. I was like, oh, you could tell at that point Jasmine was like, okay, let's just go. Let's just
but then plot twist, Daya gets to choose a song.
Yeah.
Escandalo. So the round 1 lip sync is Jasmine Kennedy versus Daya lip syncing to RESPECT Aretha Franklin. And I am surprised that this is the first time we are seeing Respect as a lip sync song.
Like they could have done it in an earlier season.
I thought they had, and then I remembered it was the Lost season 6 episode where they did Think.
Yep.
But this was good.
Yeah, this was fine.
Though I think it could have gone either way. I think the winner could have gone either way.
I don't personally.
Okay, that's good.
Something I will say about this. So when Jasmine was picked first, and then she was about to pick, it cuts into commercial, and I'm like, why? why are you giving us the suspense even though we kind of know who you're gonna pick? Like, excuse me.
The commercial breaks were kind of dumb, but also I watched it afterwards and not live, so I didn't have to deal with actual commercials. I went straight through, so
you got lucky. But here's the thing,
I got the best possible situation.
Yeah, like again, I go to the watch parties every week, so everyone audibly was like, like when the commercial break happened because we wanted to know who Jasmine was gonna pick. I was just like,
there's no surprise there whatsoever.
But it was no surprise because it was just like, like we knew that Jasmine was gonna pick Daya just for like to have that drama.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah, so what I've learned is that Jasmine has a very specific way that she lip syncs, and it doesn't always necessarily fit the way that the song goes. And this was a great example of it just doesn't fit. Also, she didn't know all the words.
Yeah.
That was Jasmine's downfall.
Honestly.
Because I think had she known all the words, I agree with you, Aud. I think it could have gone either way. But
yeah,
that was kind of the big thing.
I'm so bad at memorizing lyrics to songs. I would be such a horrible lip syncer. Like,
don't do.
I would be so bad. Like, it takes me because I am very much the type of person where I care more about the like beat to a song more so than I care about the lyrics of a song.
Sure.
And so I just it'll be like 3 months into me listening to a song nonstop, and I'm like, wait, I still don't know like a good chunk of this.
So either don't do drag or do drag and only do twice songs.
Well, see, the trouble with that is I don't know Korean, so
fair.
There are parts that I can sing of that, and it's so funny. The just went to a Twice concert, and you could hear me like trying to sing in the background of one of the songs, but obviously it's in Korean, the songs, and so I sound so crazy. But
so here's what you have to do: learn Korean, then become a drag artist, and then become a drag queen who only lip syncs to Twice songs.
Could you imagine? Iconic.
Or drag king, or just drag whatever drag you want to be.
Do you guys think you would be good, like, in that format of lip syncing?
Absolutely.
Here's the thing with me. Like, I'll know a lot of songs to an extent. Like, I'll be honest. Like, I love Respect. Like, but I don't know a lot of the verses. Like, of course, I know the chorus, obviously. But if you give me a song and I'm like, I probably will like get some of this, but I have to know all of it because in music you have to know all of it. If you mess up once, it ruins the whole thing. So,
and if you don't know the words, just watermelon pineapple or watermelon cantaloupe, because at least then your mouth is moving at a decent pace so you can hide the fact that you don't know the words of this song.
Again, if you throw me into a lip sync, it better be a lot of Gaga because, again.
Right. Well,
anyways.
Daya Betty comes out with the win in round 1. Do we agree?
Yes.
I do.
I don't disagree.
I thought Daya embodied what the song was supposed to be, and that's why she chose it. So,
yeah,
totally. More power to you, Daya.
Definitely shook Jasmine. It definitely shook Jasmine, I think.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Definitely. So we get round 2, which is Willow Pill getting picked by Calix out of the ball hopper, the hopper of the balls. And Willow is freaking out because she's like, I wanted to be the person picked, so that way I picked the lip sync song. And so here we see Willow Pill's social strategy race because she's like, I'm going to pick the queen that I think is going to pick the song that I want to do. And so she picks Bosco, which I think of the 4 people available, that's the best option. Totally. Like, you're not going to want to lip sync against Georges.
Definitely not.
Because no one
wants to. Yeah, so that'd be so intense.
She wasn't going to pick Angie because they're very close. And so it was either Bosco or Camden. And you had already seen Camden lip sync and win. So
pick Bosco, who hasn't lip synced at all.
Yeah. And they lip sync to Never Too Much by Luther Vandross. Hello.
I fully had never heard this song before in my life.
Oh my God. Go listen to Luther Vandross immediately.
I was taken by Bosco, though. I thought Bosco did so good in this lip sync. I don't think that I don't disagree with Willow's win either. I feel like this one also could have gone either way, but I really was.
Yeah, this was a close one, and something about this lip sync song. So like, I didn't recognize the name, but once the song came on, I was just like, wait, it's this song.
Never too much, never too much.
Yeah, I I was taken aback by it. I was just like, oh, so like I'm glad that again this goes to another category, like a good song choice.
Yes. See, so I had a large issue with Bosco throughout this episode. And I think based on the critiques I've had, it had nothing to do with her lip syncing. It had everything to do with the fact that she was wearing the same goddamn bra, corset, and panty that she's worn for 3 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
Girl, you have other drag. I know you do.
Well, maybe Bosco, I am very much the type of person where whenever I go into a stressful situation, I like to put my emotional state in a very comfortable position, and so I'll wear like my favorite shirt, my pants that I really enjoy wearing. And so maybe that's why Bosco did that.
Comfortable emotional state is a bra, corset, and panty that she's worn for 3 weeks.
Maybe that could have been
it. Honestly, sure.
But again, for a lip sync, it was smart for her to wear that. But
absolutely, it's just like if I hadn't seen this 3 weeks in a row, I'd been like, yes, diva, work, serve, yes, God. I did love her Manila skunk wig. I will say, I loved the wig. I thought Bosco looked beautiful as always. That was just my big issue. On the topic of the lip sync itself, I actually don't think it was nearly as close as y'all said it was. I thought it was very clearly Willow won. Because again, like the lip sync we just talked about with Daya and Jasmine, it felt like Bosco was doing sex stripper and wasn't connecting to the song. I saw this on another review, and I'm gonna steal this critique because honestly, it makes sense. Bosco says in Confessional that this is one of her favorite karaoke songs, and that's how she performed it to me.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good.
Whereas I thought Willow made a
That's really good. That's a really good comparison.
Right? Wow, I can't take credit. I can't take credit for it. I believe, I've watched a lot of reviews in the last 2 days. I believe it was Liana Boris from RHAP.
Okay.
It was, I believe it was the RHAP review, so it was either Liana, Aman, or Beth, who I love all of them, so great. But it was one of the 3 of them. I think it was Liana, so don't quote me on that. Not my critique, but I'm going to take it and use it in this context. But no, I really thought Willow made just a very smart and comfortable decision because she says this is the song she wanted.
Yeah.
And I think any other song
love that for her.
Honestly, any other song she would have started.
Again, love the social strategy.
Willow was very focused too. I think you could tell that's something that I took away from Willow's lip sync, that she was very focused on like very laser beam into the judges table, like I am winning this. So I could see that where I mean, exactly like you're saying, that Bosco was like carefree during the lip sync.
Yeah.
So that was I guess.
In a way that just didn't 100% connect for me with the song.
Yeah.
So Willow does win the second lip sync of the evening.
Woo!
And then we get the fickle hand of fate, as RuPaul kept saying for some reason. The fickle hand of fate chose Angie, Camden, and Georges to lip sync in the 3rd round, but this time Calix, his name is Calix, pulls a ball out of the ball hopper, to choose who gets to pick the song. Ooh. And it's J for Georges. Ooh, and she doesn't pick J-Lo, which wasn't that big of a surprise to me.
I was gonna say the exact same thing. I only would I thought Beyonce was going to be what she picked, whenever everyone was like, I can't believe she didn't pick J-Lo, I was like, why not? Radio is a really fun song to perform, and I feel like Jorgeous would slay, and she did. So I was surprised that everyone was like, oh wow, I'm so shocked. Like,
well, we
are
know
we though?
we know Jorgeous to be like a J-Lo impersonator, so the obvious choice is J-Lo. The thing is, the song was Love Don't Cost a Thing. And I think that's why, because of those three, I think Jorgeous had a very clear advantage doing radio. Whereas in either of the two other songs, I think Jorgeous would have done them very well. I don't think it would have been an immediate victory for Jorgeous in the way that I feel this lip sync was.
Yeah, like it seemed like the obvious choice because J-Lo was on there, because that was the expectation. But it was the gag, even though like a lot of people were like, okay, I can see why she chose radio, but like, come on, like, if you want to win, like, pick something that is going to be good for you. So that's why I thought that her picking radio was in a way like her trying to like not do like the obvious.
Yeah.
Which is her being J-Lo. So
this lip sync, I will say, on a whole, I really loved. The difficulty is just that there were three people. And so your eye kind of goes everywhere and nowhere at once.
Very.
Yeah, we'll say the editing for this, a lot better than past.
Very fair.
Very fair. Because we're not going to bring up season 10 or season 13 because those were.
The doors Tina Burner has opened.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought Angie and Camden did a very good job. I think towards the end, it was very much so, is it going to be Angie or is it going to be Jorgeous? And honestly, I thought they were going to give it to Angie based solely on the fact that we know RuPaul likes to see Jorgeous lip sync. And so, like, I was really surprised when Jorgeous won. I think it's completely valid. I thought she did the best.
Yeah, I thought Angie was going to win, if I'll be honest. So... But I wasn't mad at the Jorgeous win because like it clearly showed. So
yeah. So Jorgeous does win. Angie and Camden go back into the pool along with Bosco and Jasmine. And that's where it kind of kicked in for me, where I was like, oh, one of these four is going home.
Yeah.
Like, oh God. But we get Calix back at the ball hopper. And he chooses Lady Camden. And she chooses Bosco, which I think was the smart choice.
Me too.
And they lip sync to En Vogue.
I thought it, really quick to throw this in there, I thought it was funny when Daya Betty, because when Jasmine and Angeria went to the back, Jasmine like burst into tears. And Daya Betty was like, why the hell is she crying? I thought it was so funny because it was just so like just her bursting into tears out of nowhere. And then Daya, of course, Daya had to like speak on that, but I did think it was really funny.
Okay, I just want to say this before we start. What is this picture?
Yeah, the hot dog. I'm like, Logan, what is happening?
I know Logan's off camera at this, but like he probably feels don't know. Anyways, okay. One thing I wanted to bring up about this, Lady Camden talked about how she was supposed to like I'm dressed up like Sonic's bitch ass girlfriend. Do not do Amy from Sonic dirty like that ever again. Please do not.
Just so funny.
Like it was funny, but at the same time, do not do Amy dirty. Amy's a queen. like Amy has that sass that I love. Okay, Logan's back. What was that picture?
Yeah, what was the hot dog?
I don't know.
A nice little cartoon image. A nice little cartoon image of a hot dog.
Last time I did it, it was still Lana's beautiful face.
What's okay? Anyways, back to that. Did you hear my comment from what I said?
Yeah, I sure did.
Again, do not do Amy dirty like that. Again, she is a queen in the Sonic series, and she is like sassy as hell. And the fact that I'm just like, ah. But again, I still love that. I still love what she said about the house. It's like, okay, I see you.
Tomato, tomato. Anyway,
basically,
this for me was the best lip sync of the evening.
It was really good. I thought it was going to be a double save. Honestly.
Don't.
No.
Oh. Okay.
But I think Lady Camden won in the first 2 seconds of the lip sync.
Oh yeah.
But I think Bosco did a phenomenal job.
Yeah.
Like, this song as well, such a good choice from En Vogue's catalog. I thought it was just so good. I think also, I will say the best individual lip sync performance of the evening, I'm going to give to Lady Camden here. Mm-hmm. She just took every inch of this song and just, like, dove it into the ground. Like, it was so good. No one is ever going to be able to perform this song again because of how good Lady Camden did. And, like, I'm going to be honest. I've talked at length about how I love Angie and I love Willow and I love Deja. Y'all, I think Camden is my front runner now. Honestly.
Front runner? Yeah. I love Camden too, but that's a
quite
a turn.
Well, I think she's been on nothing but an upward trajectory since the start of the season. Whereas we've seen Willow has kind of been high and then dipping. And Angie has kind of just gone on this, like, I'm trying to do it so that way it's,
decline.
Like, on a bit of a decline. Like, and I'll be honest, the Daytona Wins Challenge, she should have been in the bottom with Deja. Point blank, period. They should have been in the bottom. But yeah, I will say
Camden. I don't know if I would say winner pick as of right now, but I think she's definitely cemented as top 4 for sure. I think that it would be crazy for her not to be there. So I mean, I can see it. I think next episode's going to be very pivotal in, like, who we really think is going to be able to get the crown.
Yeah, I think we're gonna reach another turning point of the season finally.
Yeah.
So after this episode, after next week's episode, we'll definitely see who's definitely gonna cement themselves in the top 4.
Mm-hmm.
So I do kind of agree because, like, I didn't even think about individual performances with this, and the way you said that, I was just like, okay, I can actually see that. So like I will agree with you. Like, Lady Camden's a front runner now.
I think my 2 front runners, realistically, for the crown, just, like, taking away how much I like them and, like, what degree of love I have for them, I think the 2 front runners for me at this current point are going to be Camden and Deja, honestly.
Oh.
I think they're both. I think they're both just on an upward trajectory since the start of the season. Not that Camden didn't start great, because Deja definitely didn't. But I think they've both been on such an upward trajectory that I think at this point, even though Angie and Bosco both have 2 wins, I think the 2 locked for me at the moment in the top 4 are Camden and Deja.
I'm surprised.
And I know not everyone's going to agree with me on that, but that's
I'm surprised you didn't say Willow. So
I think
Willow.
I think Willow's doing well and Willow's doing great. I think there's going to be a challenge in the next 3 episodes that just is not in her wheelhouse, and it's going to take her out.
Okay.
And I don't want to say that because I love Willow. And I want.
You think Willow's going to get Ms. Crackered?
A little bit, yeah.
I think
she's going to be Ms. Crackered. I think she's going to get Katya. I think she's going to get Dayled. Like, honestly, I do. Insert all of the robbed 5th place queens here. Like, I really think Willow is our robbed 5th place queen. And I hate saying that.
That's the way I'll be inconsolable if Willow doesn't make
me too.
top 4.
Trust and believe.
Be so sad.
No, trust and believe. Me too. I'm going to be really upset. But that's just kind of where I see the trajectory going, because Camden and Deja are on the up. Georges has kind of just been this very consistent. I think next week is going to be Georges' time, if I'm honest, because now we're at a top 7 where everyone has a challenge win. This is the first, I believe, this is the first time that has happened where a top 7 all go into top 7 with a win since season 5.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
I could be wrong, But this, I believe, is the first time the top 7 have all had a challenge win at this point. I really think like Deja and Camden have just been on this upward trajectory. Bosco is so hit or miss that honestly, I don't even know if Bosco is going to make it to the finale at this point.
I would say I would see Bosco as a like the robbed 5th place.
Sure,
more than I would see Willow.
Okay,
just based on even just this episode of like, I think it's going to be something where it either really shakes her or it really just pushes her forward to be like, y'all, like I am eyes on the prize again. Like this is going to make me take it to the top. But I think based on, and this isn't me basing it off of like Deja as a queen, I think based on the editing and what the editors have given her thus far, that I still don't see her making top 4. Just again, based on editing alone and how much that they have put into her story, I just don't see it for her. But
I want to move on because we can bring up this topic again at the end with a lot of my reasoning for the way that I feel has to do with the trailer for next week.
Okay.
And so like I have a lot of thoughts then, so we can pause, put a pin in that one. We'll come back to it. But Lady Camden does win the lip sync against Bosco. We move on. So there's only 2 queens left and there's only 1 song left. So we see, I'm gonna say it, Angie, just Angie. I don't know why her name is Paris Van Michaels, but it kind of blocks out
again too long. Long as
there we go. Angie, literally that. So we see Angie and Jasmine lip sync to "Love Don't Cost a Thing" by J-Lo, and we find out they get kind of emotional. We find out that they have a really close connection. I was like, I didn't see that coming. Because we just haven't seen it. I'm like, huh?
Yeah, I think with Jasmine, it's hard to see any of her other relationships just based on how much they spend on her relationship with Daya.
Yeah.
So I guess easily missable in the edit of everything.
Now that you bring that up, because in the was it the Meet the Queen superlatives? Do you remember watching that?
Yes. I do.
They brought up Jasmine's name a lot in a lot of the categories, so I can see why like that connection. Like, if I'll be honest, I did not hear this comment because that bar was loud, so I didn't even hear it. So yeah, I didn't know that, but now I understand why. Like, I didn't know they had that connection either. So.
Yeah, so this lip sync was not great, if I'm honest.
I was going to say, I was sitting here, like, leading up to this, I'm being like, okay, what was Angeria and Jasmine like? What was that lip sync like? I have, not even going to lie, no memory of the specific one, but at this point, obviously, we're 5 lip syncs in, so it's starting to wear on us at this point.
Yeah,
I liked the episode, but...
Yeah, I think after the 4th lip sync, we were like kind of stopped paying attention. If I'll be honest, that's how.
And it's hard to follow up. It's hard to follow up
the
Bosco Lady Camden one because it was just so good. So it's like, and I think at this point also we're just seeing the writing on the wall again of Jasmine has been doing so well with lip syncs, and so at this point now she's not winning the lip syncs that she's in. So it's like, okay, we kind of know what's to come next. Like, we kind of see where this is headed. But yeah, Angeria wins. I don't disagree with that one either.
I do.
Wow, there we go. Could you imagine if it was Angeria and Bosco in the bottom?
And that's exactly why I don't think they did. Yeah. I think this genuinely could have gone either way. And I think the reason Angie won the lip sync is because they didn't want the 2 front runners in the last lip sync where one of the people with 2 wins has to go home. I love Angie. I think Angie's a phenomenal queen. She's deserved everything that she's had this season and all of the accolades that she's had so far. With that being said, like I said earlier, I think she should have been in the bottom 2 for the Daytona Win Challenge, and they saved her because they knew how much of a fan favorite she was going to be and how much of a front runner she was going to be. I also don't think she won this lip sync. I think Jasmine's energy in this lip sync was the best of the three that she does. We'll talk about her last lip sync in a second, but I thought Jasmine embodied this song a little bit better. I thought Jasmine was a little bit more dynamic in her performance than Angie was, because we know Angie can do the tricks and do the thing. And this isn't necessarily a song that doesn't call for that, but this isn't necessarily a song that does call for it. And so, like, I just felt a little bit more dynamic and a little bit more fight in this one from Jasmine than I did for Angie. So I would personally give it to Jasmine. And again, I know that's not a popular opinion, and I love Angie.
Could see it.
And I want the best for Angie, but I do truly think Jasmine won this lip sync. And I've watched it about 4 or 5 times. So I can confidently say, like, I think Jasmine won.
Yeah, this was one I was, like, trying to go back and forth with. I actually thought that the rigged lip sync was the 3-way because I thought Angie won that.
Oh.
Okay. But now I see why you thought. Now
that makes sense.
I kind of agreed this was the rigged one because they didn't want, again, like you said, they didn't want Angie and Bosco to be in the bottom 2, and then one with the 2 wins leave. Like.
And when Daya gives Jasmine her, like, well, I could see Jasmine getting this. When Daya says it, then it must have been close, like, as they were watching it. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's interesting. I never thought I would say anything bad about Angie, but here I am saying like 5 different bad things about Angie.
No, it's not bad, it's valid, I will say.
Yeah, am I mad that things have been rigged in her favor? No. Well,
I don't even know that they're rigged in her favor per se. I could maybe see this one. I think everything prior, I didn't see necessarily like riggery in the more for her than other people. I haven't seen it, but I didn't think about the points of like it would be the only 2 that have 2 wins. I didn't think about that prior to you saying.
Well, then again, I don't even think Bosco should have 2 wins. I think one of her wins should have gone to Deja.
That was Deja,
yes.
Deja for the DragCon panels. I still think it should have gone to Deja. I think I'll agree with you, Aud. I think the only other time I've seen riggery directly for Angie, like I keep beating a dead horse on, was the Daytona Win Challenge, where I do truly think, as much as I love Angie and Deja, I do think they were the 2 worst, and I think they probably should have been in the bottom 2.
Again, Angie's even said for the Daytona Win Challenge, like, she knew she did bad.
Yeah.
And the fact that they didn't not reward, like, the
fact that she was saved.
She was saved, and she like was like expecting to be in the bottom, and then when she was safe, that caught her off guard, and it was just like, okay.
Because could you imagine Angie and Deja lip syncing to One Way or Another? That would have been incredible.
It would have.
Who was that bottom 2? Who was that bottom 2 that week?
It wasn't a bottom 2.
Yeah,
it was a top 2. It was Daya and Camden. That's when Camden got her first. That's why I'm saying it's rigged, because out of nowhere we're doing a top 2.
They were like, oh my god, y'all were just so good this week. It was that
But
week.
I genuinely think Georges, A, wasn't wearing chaps, and B, should have just been safe. Yeah. And where I thought, honestly, it's so much.
All right, let's get to the last lip sync.
So yes, Angie wins.
Let's get to it.
I don't agree, but whatever. Final lip sync, Jasmine versus Bosco. Swept away Diana Ross. Only the second Diana Ross lip sync on Drag Race, which I am very surprised about, knowing how much RuPaul likes Diana Ross. This was a great song. This was a great lip sync.
It was really good. Because at this point, they're both very vulnerable, and like I don't.
One of them is about to go home because of this lip sync. Like,
right? They're desperate in the way of like they know that this is their last Hail Mary to get.
This is your last chance to impress RuPaul and save yourself from elimination. Like, this is the last one, and so yeah.
And another song where it's like a good song choice, and it delivered a good lip sync. And
I think Jasmine won. I'm sorry,
Wow.
I really do. It's the same thing that I'm going to say. I just felt more dynamics. I felt more fun. I felt a lot of other things from Jasmine in this lip sync. I don't think Bosco did a bad job by any means of the imagination. I think she did a really great job. She pulled out all of her tricks. Maybe she should have in a prior lip sync and maybe she should have won. But with that, maybe she would have won. But like, well, then again, she did have 2 ballads. So
I think
really
with Jasmine this episode, I think Jasmine did very well in every single lip sync that she was in. I just think with the other girls, they also just really rose to the occasion. And so in terms of past episodes, I think because the other girls did do also so well that they were like, okay, like this is when past came into obviously.
There was no chance anyone but Jasmine Kennedy was going home after this episode. Like, I will
exactly.
There's no universe anyone other than Jasmine was going home unless someone literally just didn't lip sync. Like, that's the only universe where that would have happened.
Yeah, I was thinking about this the other day, and like, I think this episode was the setup for Jasmine to finally go home.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, unfortunately. But I was like, okay. Like, again, I have my thoughts, but I had my thoughts about it, but unfortunately, yeah, like it could have gone either way for me.
Yeah.
But it was Jasmine's time, unfortunately. And
Jasmine was so cute though, leaving. She was like, well, I've been in the bottom a lot, so I wasn't really surprised. Yeah. I was like, oh my God.
And then because no one's been eliminated in however many episodes, I forgot about the chocolate bar. And I'm going to be real honest. I was like, you know what? Give her the goddamn golden chocolate bar. This girl deserves it. Just send her home next episode. Yeah. Like, honestly, y'all could have written in another part for the Moulin Rouge. Like, y'all could have done that. Just give her the golden chocolate bar. Get it over with. Let this episode be for absolutely nothing, and let's just move on and eliminate 3 people next week. Like, honestly, I would have loved every moment of that, and I would have been cackling so hard if that happens.
Honestly.
But we do lose our beautiful, beautiful Jasmine Kennedy. I'm sad. I'm going to be real honest. It was her time, but I'm sad.
Same.
Jasmine really had like a full circle moment, I think, from how she originally was being received by the audience. And I think by the end, I think a lot of people did end up really enjoying her. And so can't wait to see her on All Stars. I'm sure she's going to be there in the near future. It'll be really exciting.
Imagine like the new Jasmine Kennedy 2.0 with a few more years of drag under her belt and a fully realized her identity, like a fully realized identity as a trans woman. Like, could you imagine the powerhouse that is going to be Jasmine Kennedy in a few years?
I think Jasmine's fully going to be on an All Stars. I don't know that she would be on. What's the next one coming up? 7 would be.
It would be 7.
I think it would be like 8 or 9. I feel like is like definite for her to be on.
Yeah, 8 or 9 is like a good trajectory for her if that ever happens. This did y'all watch on What You Packin' for this?
I did. No. Oh, she's so lovely.
Was it good?
It was like she's not as chatty anymore, thankfully.
I think she got on some ADD medication, I'm going to be honest, because she does talk about it, but she's like also realized watching herself on TV that like, oh boy.
Again, I love that most all of these queens are self-aware of like what their flaws are. So like it's just I'm just happy to see that because like
it really is such a good cast.
I honestly think like in seasons past, like because of like how all the drama has like gotten to a lot of people, like I feel like was a check for everyone to be like, hey, be more self-aware than be caught up in all this.
Yeah.
And it worked. I'll say that. It worked.
Yeah. I also want to point out, I'm trying to look it up because I'm curious and I don't remember. When was the last time we didn't have a New York queen in the top 7?
Let's see.
Because I thought it was season 11, and then I remembered my icon in Legend of Life, Sugar Cane. So
true, Sugar Cane, TBT.
I
don't know anything.
I'll bring the info for next week.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I don't remember anything without Final 4. I'm really bad at placements.
And again, reminder: Jasmine was the only New York queen this year.
Exactly. Yeah. That's why I bring it up, because
again, which still shocks me, but at the same time, like, I love the new dynamic, like, with what they're going with this, because they're highlighting more queens from across the country, not just New York. And it's like, okay, like, again, I'm not mad at it. Like, I'm happy. Like, I would say it's like a sigh of relief. Like, I've talked about this before, like, that we're not getting so many New York queens. Like Yuha says, 5 New York girls, like
5 trans girls.
Like,
5 trans femmes, because that's how Willow identifies. But
yeah,
Jasmine, we love you. Come on the podcast. That'd be a dream. Honestly, that would be a dream.
Love.
Yeah. So with that, we get next week, and it is the Moulin Rouge. It's the Rusical. It's my favorite and least favorite episode of every season.
It's about damn time.
But directed by Leslie Jordan. Excuse me.
Yes.
Wow.
Excuse me. And the guest judge, not Leslie Jordan, which I'm kind of confused about, but the guest judge, Angeria. Hello.
That's Danity Kane?
No.
Oh, no.
Wait.
That's Rise
Up. Aubrey O'Day.
You're thinking, oh my God. That's a great place to stop this episode. Thank you all so much for joining us for our recap of episode 11 of season 14 of RuPaul's Best Friends Make Him Laugh Southern Hospitality, rigged for Angie race. Subscribe, like, and share on your way out. And cheers. Cheers with Remy.
I was going to say.
Yes. Yes, cheers. Oh, no. Oh, goodbye. Goodbye.